reality show called Radical Body Transformations.
Oh, nice.
And actually going through her own transformation now. And so she brings a different perspective to the health and fitness industry, being a mother of two, a recent mother of two.
Yeah.
Is supernatural, in organic and all that kind of stuff. So she brings a different perspective to the audience and to people, actually. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. So whenever we said, hey, let's do a live and an interview. I wasn't like sure where to start at, because like when I met you had the book came out, right? Like you're pushing the book, and then that kind of like you kind of accomplished that. I feel like you accomplished great things with that, and then you just kind of like said, hey, I'm gonna change my life. Like what was that? What was that mindset like? What happened to make that transformation? Because that's a huge that's not just a personal thing, but that's like a whole family thing. So everybody has to be aboard of that, right?
Sure, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I had great success in the world of business and real estate. I've been involved in many different industries, but real estate hit it big for me. I started when I was 21. Then I started a brokerage. At the same time, I was buying real estate, investing in real estate. I grew my brokerage into a huge empire with locations all over the nation. I even had a story that went internationally viral. Over 100 people tattooed the company logo on themselves. Just to show their loyalty to the brand.
Yeah.
And
I sorry to interrupt, but I saw that. How does that happen? Like how does someone have such an influence on someone where they go and get their body, tattooed of so
Oh, it's interesting. It was 105 people to be exact. And we closed it at 105. And what ended up I asked every single one of them, and they all told me that this business and this opportunity and the mentorship that I gave them, that the company gave them, they felt, indebted forever. It changed their, it was a company culture built at that time that resonated with them. And if you think about it, people tattoo the Yankees and the sports figures and even, musicians, and they still have to pay to go watch to see the Jets, even though you have a tattoo. So, for them, they felt that this was the opposite. They were getting paid. They were actually getting a career and learning and experiencing the company culture and the people and people that made lifelong friendships and still have a career till this day in the industry because of the opportunities that we gave them.
Who was your mentor and kind of educated you and introduced you to culture? Because that's one thing about business. Like you can have like a world-class strategy, but the culture is always gonna like dominate strategy no matter what. Who introduced you to that?
I think it was a combination of, I talk about it in my book a little bit. It was my cousin who was a little older and my brother who's my older. And I looked up to them a lot because they were business leaders and business figures in two completely different industries, not even in real estate. But I learned a lot from them. But honestly, it was more like everybody I came across, whether it was a successful attorney that I was doing a transaction with, or even as a small real estate agent when I first started, and I met a landlord that owned 3 buildings, I would admire that person and pick their brain. So anybody can be really your mentor. Even the guy that owns the bodega on the corner, they're a business owner. You don't know what else they own aside from that. But, I would be able to take anybody and learn from them. I don't care what it was or who it was. And I took little mentorship gems from every person along the way that I came across. So there wasn't like one big person. But as my business grew, so were my mentorship appetite, right? So then I started looking at, I happened to be in the franchise industry, so I started looking at Dave Thomas. I started looking at all, Colonel Sanders, all those people that started these wonderful franchises, Jimmy John's. I started looking at all those people. And then eventually I started meeting people that were larger than life that owned, thousands of franchises across the country. So I started becoming friends with them and they became my mentors. So I think there's never just one person. I mein, P. Diddy, Jay-Z, I took gems from them because they would rap about things that eventually they would culminate and come true. So, I gained a significant amount of respect for a lot of people in the music industry that talked it, but also walked it.
But he seeks guidance and and inspiration, motivation. Like he draws this to himself.
Yeah.
Not like okay, there's one mentor and okay, so mentor me, give me.
Yeah.
It's not like that with him. He basically he gets it out of people. He's hungry for mentorship. So I think that's more important than having like a mentor, who you get inspired by.
Yeah, I think that's so powerful. You say that because I believe, and this is kind of my thought behind that is like, I guess it comes from your background. Like, you had a humble background, like you mentioned in the book. So it kind of makes you appreciate just everything. Like it kind of keeps you in that mindset not to judge people, because like, you know what, like someone could have it worse and you've had it worse. So like you always, I guess you always show people respect, and by you showing them respect, they share information with you. That's very powerful right there. Let me ask you this: Were y'all in the real estate business together, or y'all met after?
No, I was already in the real estate business, and I kind of got her involved. But I took a different approach with this relationship. We kept it mainly just about us,
Yeah.
And she was involved in certain aspects of the business, but we decided to really start a family, and that is a whole big job onto itself. People don't understand. Like, we have two beautiful children, and our daughter, she's now 4 years old. She's a model and actress, but not any model and actress. Like, she's busy. She's got gigs going on all the time. She actually has to pay taxes and get W-2s and 1099, the whole yard. So, like, that is a job onto itself. And we have a son that we're also grooming to get involved in different aspects of business, So, and now we have this fitness business that we're doing together, and that's awesome. So,
tell me more about like the fitness business. Like, how do y'all? Obviously, y'all are partners in that business. Give us some like tips on like how y'all strategize or how y'all come up with. Because that I work with my wife. Like, me and my wife work together. We worked together for years, and a lot of people don't understand. Like, it's you have to have like this switch, I think, because you have to go into like the business mindset, but then you have to remember that you're in a relationship. So how do y'all balance that?
I think it's actually so much easier for us because we're both very we're both very goal-oriented people. So all we have to do is write down the goals, and then we're in it. Whether whether we're training together and it's half a date night, half training, like we try to maximize the time that we do get to together one-on-one, because being with the two kids, it's really busy with all the career that he mentioned, and we have so many like enrichment classes, forget it, the dancing, the arts, the swimming, so there was really no time. And it was a point where he was like, you know what, there's no time for us. And I was like, well, I'm gonna start working out just so we can hang out in the gym. That's a great excuse. The kids can be watched, and it worked out. It was actually the best thing.
I think what it is like, you just put an address in the GPS, and then you just shut up and do what you got to do. So what she talked about is we have like dreams and a dream board, and
dream board is very important.
Right. We know what the destination is. And like I say in the documentary, we do whatever it takes to get there,
the whole month of drawing our dream boards, chopping things up, photoshopping our heads into situations and bodies and stuff like that. The whole December, we just think. That's when you're talking about being business partners. That's right, heavy duty thinking. Once the thinking is done, the picture is up, then it's like playtime. And I think both of us, we take joy in work, and we literally look at it as game. Whatever it is, it's so funny. I used to call him the duck, because I feel like even in the hardest and most like dramatic situations of business, that he would have like 3-4 things like piled up on him, huge things. And then he would still have to go to Fox to do this interview, to do this. And he would just like walk around. I'm just saying, like, you're pedaling, but on top of the water, you just look like a calm down. So fun. And I feel like this is like great about him, because he looks at everything as a game. Even if something sinks, he's like, well, it was meant to be. Like, you would expect him to be upset, to come home, be grumpy with us. Nothing. He's just like, hey guys, what's going on? I'm like, but you're not worried about that whole thing? He's like, well, because something better is waiting for us.
Yeah, I always look at the silver lining. Something,
so
everything happens for a reason. You always have to look at the positive aspects of what's going on. Even what we're talking about now, Corona, the pandemic, there's so many positives that happen in our life, professionally and personally, because of it. And so, you can always look at the upside. There's always a silver lining.
Yeah, that's so crazy. So y'all spend the month of December just like going over like y'all's goals, like ideas, and just think and
what do we want to be happier, right? We're always happy, right? But what do we want more, right? Because you always want to progress in life. There, you cannot be stuck, especially for people like us. We have to progress. So what do we want for this year to bring us, or maybe the next 2 years? Because the bigger the dream is, the longer it takes. So we'll write down the list, and then whatever is like the biggest part of the dream and could be put on a picture. Let's say his body, right? We put like bodybuilder's body. We photoshopped his head on top of it, and we printed that in the whole photo.
Yeah.
So these things that are very attainable and very like specific, we have to just look at them, because the more you look at them, the more you just envision it, visualize it, and it happens. It's crazy how it happens. The same thing with Victoria's Secret model Candace, I was overweight after my second child with a diastasis recti and 5 fingers. I don't know if you know what that means. If your child is huge or you have twins, you possibly get separation of your abs. So I had like a 5-finger. You can put a whole hand right in between my abs. It was open. It was basically my tissue was super loose. So at that time, you just think, what is making me like a little unhappy right now, right? Definitely diastasis in my body right now, right? So body first. So I put my head on Candace, Candace from Victoria's Secret.
I gotta look it up. I'll look her up.
Like the lead model, for the past whatever. So I was like, not a chance this is happening in a year. This is way too far ahead, but I'll just do it. We dream huge, and then we always land on the stars. That's what it is. So I put my body, his body. Then we put our daughter on a major red carpet, like her head on a 6-year-old. And all of a sudden, she got signed to the top agency in Manhattan. This lady manages the kids from Stranger Things, and anybody who's anybody in the kid actor world is managing my daughter now. So she just gets signed to them in February before pandemic hits.
Nice.
Auditioning at home, through this agency, because all the other auditions are just not happening without the agents. So yeah, that's what it is. We do the photos. It just helps so much.
That's so true. I think there's a quote that says you won't receive it until you believe it, right? That's how it goes, and that's so true, because once you start believing in yourself and you start believing in what you can accomplish, like it's weird how things just happen, So tell me about like the how you got it hooked up with like the Fox and like the media, because I've seen you like you've done like all these news media channels, and you talk about real estate, and like how did you get into that avenue? Like
well, we did a lot. I mean, the story that went viral about people getting tattoos, that was awesome, and we met a lot of people, because almost every news media outlet wanted to report on it around the world. And so, but before that, I was already a regular contributor on Fox, CNN, ABC, CBS, because not only did I own a brokerage, but I owned a franchise company with, hundreds of locations, but I'm also an investor. So I took 2 different perspectives. So when I would go on these shows, they would ask me about the economy, rent versus buy, mortgage rates, what's going on with the Federal Reserve, and what the weather is in the real estate market. I could talk about it from both ends, as an investor, as a developer, as a landlord, as a broker, as a transaction maker. So it was a one-stop shop to all of your real estate needs for the general public. So they would constantly call me back. We want to talk about this. We want to talk about that. This is going on. And then anytime there was a new election and something new was going on in terms of a new government mindset in place, it was a whole new set of rules. What's happening now with the economy? So they would always call me back.
Man, that was nice. And whenever I first got introduced to you, and I started reading your stuff, like I just knew you had so much knowledge. Like you had so much more information, like knowledge that you don't really share. Like you don't share about your like a lot of your knowledge about investing and how the market works. Like, and I guess I saw that, and I respect that, because like you take pride in educating yourself and staying up to date with current events, and I have a lot of respect for that. And I mean,
he does education
all the time. I'm always got my fingers on the pulse of the market. I always know what's going on everything, even pop culture.
Like, look at how you aced the whole fitness.
Oh yeah.
I mean, this was just reading up on stuff, and you know, all I could see is him on the phone. Next thing you know, he's training me, and the information he's giving me, like, we gotta tweak the delt so that this one. I'm like, how the heck did you learn all of this? It's all self-education, and he doesn't go through just Google or one source or two sources. He must read every single article that pops up under whatever keywords he puts in. And then also Instagram, also Facebook, also dig into the influencers that he's admiring, see their posts, read their posts, the hashtag. It's crazy the amount of work he does on better.
You got to do your research. Yeah. You got to do your research.
So let me ask you this, like, whenever you decided to go into the fitness and say, you know what, I want to transform my life, what information did you like seek out to find? Like, was it about like just like the food, or was it about like?
Well, first of all, I was motivated because of what my daughter said to me that impacted me, and I talk about it in the documentary. And it basically, you know, my wife was always into eating healthy, you know, and just keeping the kids eating healthy early on. She's not into the sweets and the cheese doodles and all the kind of stuff.
And my kids eat raw onions.
Yeah, they eat carrots and all that kind of crazy. It's good stuff.
The older salad at a restaurant.
Yeah, so
broccoli,
really raw onions. So here I am eating mozzarella sticks and French fries and pizza, and then of course they're getting tempted. They want to eat. So, and one of those moments, you know, at one point I wasn't even allowed to eat at the dinner table because the stuff that I was eating, it was just too enticing, and it was a big argument with the kids, always having to retrain them. So one day we were out at a restaurant and I was going to eat, you know, something fattening. I think it was French fries. She turned to our daughter, Love, and said, "Don't eat that. You're going to get fat." She goes, "What does fat mean?" And she showed her a video on the cell phone of obesity. The video was going into obesity, what it is, and then it said obesity kills. And then she looked at me, she said, "Daddy, you're fat. I don't want you to die." And that was that pivotal moment that made me want to really make a life change. The next day, I got myself in the mindset. But the mindset I get is like, you know, it's no different than somebody that's going to go for a run or go to the gym. They put on Rocky or whatever it is that you listen to get you hyped up. My Rocky and my music is just completely changing the algorithm of my social media. So I started looking at fit people, transformation people, just clouding my mind with that content. Instead of, you know, looking at this one and that one and this one, I just started looking at people that I could admire that were regular Joe Blows. So I started seeing people 700 pounds losing 300, 400, 500 pounds and doing exercises and, you know, suffering and achieving transformations. And so the man with no shoes felt bad for himself until he saw the man with no feet. So when I said they could do it, I have no excuse. So that was it. And then I just kept constantly consuming content and just surrounding myself around that mindset. Then I needed to change my circle of friends. You know, I wanted to surround myself around athletes and people that were in shape. I said, what is the secret here? Because every time I was the same person, said, oh, they can eat whatever they want, they don't get fat, or they don't even need to work out. And that's not true at all. The people that look really, really good and hot, all those Instagram people, all the people you see, they work hard. They watch what they eat. So I saw that. I got into the behind the scenes world that, to me, I was already making my own judgments about. And I found that they had to have discipline. They had to put in the work. So I applied the same principles that I did in business into my fitness. You know, I didn't become successful by not doing anything, being lazy. And in order to maintain success, you have to continue to work hard. And it's the same thing with the physique in your body.
Yeah,
I remember every time he would wake up, and there would be lousy days where you just don't feel like going. And he would turn on these videos, the motivational videos.
Oh, in the shower, yeah.
Shower.
Nice.
Like, I would wake up to those sounds. There's the Rocky scene. There is
Even the
Anthony Robbins,
Mm-hmm.
The Rock. Like anybody who's very inspirational and have those videos, he would be listening to them nonstop to get him up. Just as soon as he's in the gym, that was it.
And I tune my mind to I don't really want to go, and I don't feel like going. I don't even feel good. I would force myself to go because I knew if I could win that, then I can go consistently, you know? So that was it. I just fought those little small battles, and it was a constant win, 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 win. And the more wins, the more confidence I had in myself and my abilities to do it. But there was no way I wasn't going to change.
But also, I feel like what really kept him engaged in this journey was the speed at what he was transforming his body. Because if the transformation is going slow, you really get discouraged. You really prefer to do other things than kill yourself at the gym if it's such a slow progress. With him, he's like from the day that our daughter said whatever she said to him, literally the next day I lost my husband for about a year because he was in the gym 3 times a day the next day. And so it was 3 times a day because he's like, you know what, I don't want to get there in 3 years. I want to pack it all up. I want to get there in 1 year or less, right? And then he added Michael, which he mentions in the movie, the nutrition and everything, because the initial 30 pounds that he lost through different types of like CrossFit and cardio and HIIT, all of these things, he was getting a little stuffed over there. And I was like running my wheels, like juicing for him, this and that. And it was just like, I just don't want it. You know, he was getting a little grumpy. Once he found this nutritionist who gave him the proper meal plan, forget it. He was dropping weight like this. It was nutrition timing. It got serious and he was seeing results and he got addicted. From then on, it was like, I actually stopped seeing him watch those motivational videos because he would just look in the mirror and that was it. He's gone. You know, because he was seeing results.
What is the nutritionist actually like do? What is their how do they kind of figure out what you need?
That's exactly it. That's why we created this brand and this opportunity for people. And I always say, you know, Steve Jobs spent millions of dollars creating the iPhone so that you could buy it for a fraction of the cost. So I spent all the money and time and energy and resources. So we create a product. So what it is a nutritionist does is that they create a custom meal plan. So what we do is that we make a meal plan that's going to work for you, whatever your dietary restrictions are. If you're, you know, if you like your likes, if you're vegan, if you like fish, whatever it is, we'll make a custom meal plan that's according to your weight, your height, and your physical goals. So if your goals are to pack on muscle or lose weight, or you just want to be lean, or you just want a healthier lifestyle, you just want to be more functional. So everything is custom to you. It's like a custom suit. It looks good only on you. So the meal plan that I have won't work for you. Yours won't work for me. It's specific to our body.
And even the meal plan for me, let's say, during bulking and during cutting is still not the same.
Correct.
So it's amazing. I just started.
She likes, I mean, give a description of your meal plan. We have a custom meal plan for her.
My meal plan is beautiful. It's 60 grams of turkey that I buy, you know, organic turkey mixed with buckwheat, chickpeas, raisins. I mean, does it get any better?
That's what she likes. She likes that stuff.
Does it get any better?
So, you know.
And then the dinner is just steak and broccoli, let's say, right, with avocado oil. So it's just, but you have to
have meal plans that include burgers or pizza, things like that. You know, a calorie is a calorie at the end of the day. So it all depends on your goals, and we'll custom tailor a meal plan to fit your goals. So whether it's get that wedding dress or that wedding tuxedo, or whether it's something permanent, whether you really want to beat obesity mentally and physically for the rest of your life.
And possibly compete on stage.
Or possibly compete on stage. Or just do a photo shoot just for your family, for that once-in-a-lifetime experience. A lot of our clients, they just want to get a hot-looking photo shoot to hang up in their house. Just want to look great and achieve that goal for once in their life, you know? So there's stuff like that we do. So we're getting people from all over the world that have all different likes, and some people have restrictions. You know, we have people with handicaps that, you know, recently had heart attacks, that can't do certain exercises, and we work with all walks of life.
Yeah, that's so true, because I never knew the importance of like understanding like the macros and all that stuff. And I started reading about it, and I was like, you know what, you're never gonna lose weight just running on a treadmill. Like it's never gonna happen. Like you gotta understand like how much protein you need or how much fat you're eating. Whenever I kind of understood that, I was like, man, it's a whole different world that no one really knows about. Because I think, what is it like to burn 1 calorie? It's how many, to burn 1 pound, it's like 36,000 calories or something like that. What is that?
You know, it all depends. It's hard to really gauge. Like the fact of the matter is that the gas that you put into a Fiat is different than the gas that you put into a UPS truck.
Yeah.
Also, and how much, but if that Fiat is staying home all day and only goes out once on the weekends, then how much gas do you really need to put in it? You know, I think that's the whole point. And what we do is we give you enough fuel to energize your life and energize your ability to do the exercises that you do. And if you want to modify your body, you know, so that's what we do.
And you know what, I know a lot of people that are into fitness, and you know they're like in awesome shape, but and you might start. The reason why I wanted to bring y'all on is because I believe you're gonna change the fitness world, and the reason why I say this is because I know a lot of people that work out, like they're in the gym 24/7, but they never have money. They're always broke. Because they don't know like how to they don't know finances. They know how to get bulk and how to get swole, but they don't know. So I believe what you're gonna do is you're gonna change the industry because your knowledge of business and you're understanding. Okay, you know what? Like you have like the total package for someone to be fit and for someone to know how to manage their life. And you have like this amazing family. So like you have all this stuff that you're bringing to the fitness world, and I think you're gonna be world class, dude.
Brains and the beauty.
The brains and the beauty, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm getting so many messages now. It's amazing. We went out the other day and like 4 people stopped us in the street. It was pretty awesome. She had the kids. She had Legend on her shoulder, our son, and some mom said,
"Who's that girl with 6-pack carrying a 2-year-old?"
Yes, she said that I did a double take because I saw a girl with a 6-pack carrying a kid. And then I recognize you guys because I just watched your documentary. So it was awesome to see that happening, and then we're stopping at a red light and people are saying, congratulations, 6-pack lolly, whatever it takes, So it's pretty awesome to change people's lives. And she was, heavy set. She was, obese, and she was asking her for tips and everything. So now she's actually going to work with us. So It's awesome, to be able to help people and change their life. The messages I get are people like crying in tears, how they can resonate. But what's also interesting is that I'm meeting a lot of business people that relate to me because they own businesses. Like a lot of dads and men, they're reaching out to me because they're like, you know what? I can identify with you because you have a business mindset. And now I'm going to pay attention to you and that was the same thing with me. I wasn't listening to any coaches or any trainers unless they were fat. And finally, I found somebody who lost the weight. Otherwise, for me, I was like, they're full of crap. They don't know what. So I think now a lot of men are resonating and saying, "Man, you achieved this much success in business, and you did this. I want both." So I'm going to listen. So it's pretty awesome to also impact people in that way, and even personal friends that know me for years.
Yeah, they're coming around.
Yesterday, from a friend of mine who's now starting a big restaurant chain. He actually worked for me as a top executive in the company, and then he started to, create his own franchise, and now he's growing all over the place. He wants the documentary, and he's like calling me every day. He's like, I want to get in shape. I want to do this. I want to do that. So it's so funny how you get to impact people. And, he's like, you changed my life, financially, gave me all these gems. I'm starting this big franchise restaurant chain empire. And now I want to get fit, so it's pretty awesome.
That's nice. Let me ask you that. I saw in the video, and I wondered about this before I saw the video. I was like, man, I wonder like his skin. Like I wonder if he has like the flabby skin. And you had the surgery, right? Did your wife have to have surgery too for the abs?
No, she was lucky. Because
I put my coconut oil old.
Yeah,
so let me ask her first. Like, so you said like your abs split, right? And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of females and women that go through that, so that you can actually get your abs to kind of go back. Or how does it?
Basically, the tissue. There's a tissue that combines them, right? That holds them together. But when you're pregnant and your child is 10 pounds. Right, and you're holding your toddler.
By the way, she did a natural water birth. Okay, that when I saw that in a beautiful tub, we rented a private.
2.5 years later, he still can't get over it.
I was there. I saw I questioned her pain tolerance again, and for me, anytime. That's why recently I got hurt working out. I dropped the barbell on my foot. My foot got cut. I kept working out. I was like, there's no excuse. I saw what matter, but I was like, I should be able to take the pain.
We can inspire too.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, so basically when your tummy just stretches as long as it can, the muscle doesn't stretch that much. It's the tissues that are connecting your muscles that are stretching. So if the middle tissue is basically stretched out like a balloon, right? And then you deflate it, it's, you know how you stretch the balloon for too long, then it's wobbly, right? It's flabby. So basically the tissue is still there. And through the exercises, you can make it stronger and the abs can come together. Of course, you have to wear the bands. You have to do some vacuum exercises too. And the funny thing is I went through a specialized therapy. It's called Tailoring therapy, Tailoring technique. And they told me there's like 400 vacuums and this and that. No weightlifting, no ab exercises, no planks, none of it, right? And so for a whole year, I went with what they said. And they told me 6 months and you're going to be good. And I was only down one finger, you know, and I was just it was just making me unhappy. I couldn't fit into my previous dresses, you know, it's just for me. I always fit. I was always, you know. So then he just was like, you know, what do you have to lose? Because I was very apprehensive. I was like, you know, he's like, let's do abs. I was like, I can't. He's like, lift up one leg. And I'm like, oh, I can't. It had messed me up that I'm incapable of even lifting my leg up. Now I'm doing weighted exercises and my abs closed down, which means the tissues got stronger. They get stronger again, so they collect everything back together.
It's funny because I was telling her there's got to be moms, but she was so convinced at what the doctors were saying and what everybody was saying. And now that she has a six-pack, we started doing research and we found like a couple of like badass moms that do this deadlifting and doing all sorts of stuff, and they had the same issue, like don't listen to the doctor. So there's a whole world out there, and that's the thing. I discovered a whole world, a transformation and fitness community that we're in love with, we're a part of, and we're inspiring, and we're gonna definitely take by storm.
Yeah. So tell me, how did the documentary, like, who's like, how'd you come up with the idea of doing a documentary? Because that's pretty like creative.
Yeah, it was something that I knew from day one I wanted to document. And you know, I saw something that inspired me on Netflix. It was called Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. And it was a very good documentary of a businessman who came to the United States and decided to do a juice cleanse with, you know, fruits and vegetables.
I think I saw that.
And so Joe Cross, and I looked at it and I said, you know what? I want to listen to this guy. He's a successful business guy. I'll listen to him. And so he lost a bunch of weight, but he didn't put on muscle or anything like that. But I knew it was possible. I said, okay, I'm a business guy. I shouldn't have any excuses either. And so I said, I'm going to just document this. And then when my partner Carlos joined, you know, we just kept going. And we were just filming everything. You know, I like to take videos and pictures anyway. Yeah. Even the guy who put it together, Keith, who's an amazing videographer and photographer, and now very, very close friend. He's like family. You know, he's like, Anthony, how did you have all of this footage, even of you as a kid? you there, you in the bathroom,
like a perfect.
Yeah, like, you know, I'm like, I don't know. I must be Kim Kardashian's twin, like constantly helping. But I don't know. You know, when you know, that's really what it is. I've been a public figure for a long part of my life. And, you know, when you have children, you kind of put the pedal to the metal and you want to be able to document everything so that you can inspire them, even if you're not around. So I always had that in mind, even before I had kids. You know, I figured if I have children, I want to, you know, give them an impact, see their dad, you know, in his younger years. So
that was, you know, it's crazy you said Rocky earlier, because I saw the preview you sent me, the trailer, and I was like, it's like feels like Rocky. Like it's inspiring. That is very, very inspiring, because like it's just genuine. Like it's you did it, like you sacrificed to make this possible for your family, and you went through, like, tell me about the surgery, because I saw like when you had all the blood, and I was like, dude, what the heck?
That was crazy. It was nuts. You know, we interviewed about 12 doctors, and, you know, you can't go to any of these doctors without paying $500 to $1,000. They're not there to give you free consultation. So whenever you're doing elective surgery, you can do that. Now, this surgery could be covered by your insurance, but I didn't want to go to any of the doctors that were covered under my insurance. So a lot of people say, oh, you got to be rich, you got to do that. You really don't. You can actually get this covered. But I wanted something that was going to have no scars, and I wanted to be able to choose my doctor. So I found a doctor that only deals with men after interviewing like 12 different doctors, and that was a task unto its own. And, you know, they all have different perspectives, and they all tell you about the risks and everything. And I literally thought I was not going to make it because
what are some of the risks?
I mean, infection. Anytime you go into a 7-hour surgery where you're
7 hours?
anesthesia, 7 hours, you're under anesthesia.
Yours was actually 8.
Yeah, it was 8 hours. And, you know, there's also risk involved in terms of how you recover. You know, you never know. You're literally splitting your body open. So it's like they cut, you know, what happened was I got down to a lean body fat percentage. So it wasn't like I needed lipo or anything like that. I actually went, because I think a lot of people make the mistake. A lot of people that get like different surgeries or lose weight, they end up becoming skinny fat. So they get a loose skin surgery, and then they finally like, oh man, I wish I had muscles. And then they start to develop muscles, but they still have loose skin. So for me, I was in a rush to get rid of all the fat, and I cut all the damn skin off. I don't want any skin. I just want to be lean. So I really, really worked hard, and I set a date and I set a deadline of when I want the surgery, and then I picked that date. And we don't. Oh no, let me see. Close. Yeah, good. So we ended up picking that date, and I trained extra hard so I could be even more lean and ready for the surgery. And that's exactly what I did. I was able to go under the knife, and they cut off all the skin that was needed.
You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Yeah, because you know what? Like, just thinking about that, like, your body went through like so much of a transformation. Your like your organs and stuff had to, like that's very risky surgery.
Oh man, I couldn't feel my fingers. I couldn't feel my lower back. The pain.
You couldn't fall asleep.
I couldn't fall. I was
asleep.
yeah. I couldn't sleep.
Traumatized.
I was
really?
Very traumatic. I was hot. My head was hot. My feet were cold. My feet were hot. My head was cold. I was getting 1 hour sleep, and on top of that, I had to walk around, like wake up every hour and walk around, and then I had to constantly eat. You know, it was funny. I was burning over 3,500 calories. Basically, the doctor said, you're going to burn calories every day as if you ran a full New York City marathon. So eat a lot. Literally, I was eating every hour. But I had a second shot at the apple. You were like, eat like you were 315 pounds again, Anthony. And sure enough, I did. I got a second shot at the apple, and actually was tired of it. I mean, I was eating Wendy's, McDonald's, White Castles. I found the White Castles that was left. I mean, your dream scenario, I did it. Pizzas, pasta, rice and cheese, all the Spanish food, Italian food you could think of. And I was eating every hour on the hour, constantly feeding my body. And I would not gain a pound of weight. It was so interesting. Because it was just burning it off through recovery.
Yeah.
But
his recovery, I would say, was very successful because, first of all, his mindset was very positive, and he had goals, because he wasn't just thinking about, oh my gosh, I'm recovering. He wasn't thinking about the present. He was already in the future. He was seeing himself on stage and everything. And the second aspect is we did have a great support system. It was his mom, my mom, and myself. And then we had
Mike was here too. Mike was changing the blood, but Mike was, you know, I just posted something because we were doing mixed martial arts together, and he was like, "Oh, your ass is in my face in this thing. And what about my blood going into your mouth?" It was funny because he was playing with the blood bottle, and it spilled all over his face. Shit! So we're blood brothers now, right? But that was insane. You know, I had tubes in my body, stitches everywhere, blood like I would lay on the bed. And then I'm hiding that from the kids. You know, I don't want them to see me like that. And so I had a big robe on. And so, but I kept walking. He
needed that too. He needed the kids because they definitely kept him entertained.
Yeah, so but it was hard, man. They would jump on me and I would be in so much pain. Like, I was like, no. You know, but I couldn't sit down. I couldn't lay down on my back. I had to lay on my side. When we would travel in the car, I'd have to like you know, sit in a stand in a certain position. It was just like the craziest thing.
But it was like between week 1 and week 3.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. Normally people take much longer to recover, and you're not supposed to work out. But I didn't listen. I just said, you know, I'm gonna recover. I was doing push-ups a month later. I was in the gym. Yeah. I still had blood vials. I was hiding them underneath my jogging pants, still working out. That's how crazy I am.
What is the blood vials? What is that? Like you
get these bulbs, right? I had 4 of them attached, 2 in the front, 2 in the back, and your body is one piece of skin. That's the biggest organism you have. Yeah. We split the skin. It's like taking a T-shirt that's too long, cutting it, and making it, you know, shorter so it fits you right. So that's exactly what they did with me. But all of the blood is used to going through, you know, seamlessly. When you cut it, it's very confused. It doesn't know how to circulate through your body. So all that excess blood that doesn't know where to go is going into these bulbs and collecting into these bulbs. And so it was insane that I would have to change them constantly. It's nuts when you think about it. You know, we have more behind the scenes footage.
I still can't believe you went through it.
I know. They were like, are you going to really do this? I don't know. Whatever it takes. You do it, you know.
The first thing he said when he woke up, I made it.
Yeah.
I made it. I
was ready to die. I was ready because I wanted this so bad. You know, I'm not a BSer. Like, I will go all out. Whatever it is that I put my mind to, I will go all out. And I was ready.
Man, so tell me what else y'all want to share. Like, where y'all going from here? What's next? What does the vision board look like?
Right now, the documentary just came out 13 days ago, and it's doing phenomenal. It's ranking really high on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
And for those just tuning in, it's called From Fat Lolly to Six Pack Lolly, the number 6. So from Fat Lolly to Six Pack Lolly. Okay. And it documents my whole entire weight loss journey. And it brings you really behind the scenes of what it's like to be morbidly obese, join a gym, work with a trainer, work with a nutritionist, lose all the weight and discover, oh my God, I have loose skin that's not contracting, go through a loose skin surgery, go through recovery, and then actually decide to go on stage and take your shirt off for the first time in public. And
how did that feel?
9 months.
In record-breaking 9 months. So
how did that feel, you doing that competition?
Oh man, it was one of the greatest. It was amazing. It was honestly, it was one of the highlights of 2019. It was really, it was surreal because we had all of our friends and family there. It was amazing, all the support we got from the people there that we didn't even know. And it was amazing because we have a reality show called Radical Body Transformation. So we have cast members from all over the world that flew down at their own expense that I hadn't even met yet. And they came down to see the competition and support us and everything. And, you know, it was really good to have the videographers there. It was Keith and Zach and a couple of other people, and they're amazing people to work with. So it was awesome. And then, of course, my best friend and partner, Carlos, was there. And our other partner, James, from Radical Body Transformation was there. And so it was just amazing to see that. But then just to see my wife and the children and my mom and the crowd and my daughter just looking at me like on stage and my son and just, it was just surreal. And then the judges, they gave us a standing ovation. Like it was, I've never seen that before. They saw my before picture, and then I came on stage and they just stood up and they looked in awe. It was amazing.
Someone backstage even was wondering if he's a muscle monster.
Yeah. That was, to me, there was so many epic moments leading to that because I had been training really hard. I went through the surgery. I was looking incredible. Nobody really saw my physique except my wife or my best friend or the closest people and my coach, Mike. And the day before the competition, Keith, the videographer, came and said, you know, let's do a fitness shoot. Let's do a shoot in a gym, in a nice gym. And we did a family photo shoot. Took off my shirt, started working out. And I looked at the videos after he, you know, uploaded them to the computer. I was like, that's me. That was the first time I looked at my body and I said, man, I made it. I did it. I said, I think I might win this thing. The whole entire time. You know how deep-rooted obesity is mentally. Yeah. And I needed to jump rope. I always had to do it in front of a mirror. because the times that I would jump rope not in front of a mirror, I would get out of breath after like 15, 20 seconds because I would still remember my mindset as an obese person. So my trainer, who I talk about in the documentary, he passed away of a car accident like 3 weeks before the competition.
Yeah, sorry.
And so he figured out a trick. He was wondering, why are you getting out of breath all of a sudden when you just finished doing 5 minutes of jump rope yesterday? And we realized I wasn't in front of the mirror. I had to kind of look at myself as being a thin person, somebody in shape that can handle this. That's how deep-rooted the obesity was. It was more psychological for me. And the same thing happened. She made me get LASIK surgery, and now I have 20/20 vision. But for quite a long time, I would see stuff blurry still. And it was because I was seeing things like, and then I had to say to myself, wait a minute, my eyes are correct. Then I would, all of a sudden, would come into focus.
Yeah, man, you've gone through like a lot, dude. like it's just, it's amazing. Like just everything you've gone through. So where can they find the reality show at?
They can go to rbtshow.com.
Okay, I'll put that on the link.
If they want to get on the reality show, they can fill out a form. We can do that. If they want to get exercise plans, meal plans, we have a lot of free content. So on Facebook and Instagram, but they can go to rbtshow.com and there's all the information. We can even hook them up with a coach. There's so much they can do. If they want to watch the documentary, they just go on Amazon Prime. It's also on YouTube and it's also on Google Play. Okay. But Amazon Prime is really hot right now. It ranks up high. So just put in Fat Lolly and it comes up. And we love for them to watch. And then, of course, my social media, right? At Anthony Lolly, they can always contact me. And we'll get back to them. Right now, it's hard, though. I'm getting, like, literally thousands of direct messages I wake up to. I can't get to everybody, but I'm trying my best.
Hey, man. Well, I appreciate y'all's time. We send all our blessings from Texas. I know that I think New York is doing better, right? They said they weren't no deaths or something.
Yeah, I mean, it's always up and down. I don't know. It depends on what news station you're listening to. You
know?
Right. It's crazy. You know, it's funny. We were supposed to be in Texas. We had 5 competitions, and she was going to compete also.
Nice.
2020. We were going to be in Bahamas. We were going to be in Texas.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
The UK, but they all got canceled. But it looks like, I forgot to tell you, there's a couple of competitions that actually did happen this past weekend. Some with masks, some with no masks. But so that's interesting. So we may be competing sooner than we think. So we'll see.
Hopefully by next year everybody's able to travel again and everything. You know, everybody's out of the house.
Yeah, and I was telling her, you had sent me a massive action shirt. I could not find it for the life of me. I was like, man, he sent me a shirt. I wanted to wear it. I don't know where it was, and I was like, I'm gonna find it, but I think one of the kids must have took it because you can't put anything down, like it's just gone. Like, you know. I'll send you another one, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate y'all. Let's keep in touch. You sent it to me before. It was large, but medium. Send it. Okay, I'll send both of y'all one. Yeah, I'll send both of y'all one. And like I said, I appreciate it. I appreciate y'all taking the time to do this. Let's definitely stay in touch. I would like your wife to meet my wife. Yes. And we can just build on that relationship and tell the little kids I said hello. We have a 4-year-old too at home. So we actually have 8. We actually have 8. And that children? That's a whole different video, right? I'll send you a picture. Massive action, huh? That's massive action. Good job, like amazing. That's funny. Hey man. Well, this talk show host was talking about somebody else that had 8 children. He said, congratulations. The guy said, my pleasure. But it's awesome. Well, thank you so much for the All right, brother. Yes, sir. I'll send you a copy of the video, all right? Perfect. Okay, bye-bye. Bye-bye.